What if the biggest advantage in business isn't having the best product, or the most customers, or even the most money? What if the real advantage is simply seeing the future before everyone else? That's exactly what some of the world's most valuable companies are trying to do. While most businesses focus on this quarter's sales, next month's targets, or this year's profits, America's corporate giants are making decisions based on where they believe the economy will be 5, 10, even 20 years from now. At first, that sounds risky. After all, no one can predict the future with certainty. Markets change, technology evolves, consumer habits shift, unexpected events reshape entire industries. So why are companies worth hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars making massive bets on a future they can't fully see? Because they've learned one lesson that has repeatedly separated winners from everyone else. By the time the future becomes obvious, it's usually too late to lead it. History proves this over and over again. The companies that dominated the internet didn't wait until everyone was online. The leaders in cloud computing invested years before businesses fully embraced the cloud. The companies leading artificial intelligence today didn't suddenly begin building AI last year. Many started investing quietly years ago. That's how transformational businesses think. They don't invest based on what's popular today. They invest based on what they believe will matter tomorrow. And that's exactly what's happening across corporate America. Technology companies are spending hundreds of billions of dollars expanding AI infrastructure. Manufacturers are investing in next-generation factories. Energy companies are preparing for dramatically higher electricity demand. Healthcare companies are building smarter digital systems. Financial institutions are modernizing decades-old technology. These aren't decisions designed to improve next quarter's earnings. They're designed to secure leadership for the next decade. One of the biggest reasons for this long-term thinking is the pace of technological change. Innovation is moving faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence, advanced semiconductors, automation, robotics, quantum computing, cloud infrastructure. Each breakthrough creates entirely new opportunities and entirely new risks. Companies that wait until these technologies become mainstream often find themselves trying to catch businesses that already have years of experience. That's a difficult race to win. Another reason is that building competitive advantages takes time. A modern AI data center can't be built overnight. Neither can a semiconductor factory. Hiring world-class engineers, developing new software, expanding global supply chains, creating trusted brands, building customer loyalty. These are investments measured in years, not months. The companies making those investments today are hoping they'll become nearly impossible to replicate tomorrow. That's why so much of today's corporate spending looks unusually aggressive. Executives aren't spending because they expect immediate returns. They're spending because they believe waiting could become even more expensive. Technology isn't the only area where long-term thinking is changing a business strategy. Talent has become another major priority. Many of America's biggest companies are investing heavily in training, leadership development, research teams, and specialized expertise. They understand that future success depends not only on technology, but also on having the people capable of using it better than anyone else. Infrastructure is another example. Cloud computing networks, energy systems, cybersecurity, global logistics, digital payment platforms. These systems often require billions of dollars before producing meaningful returns, yet companies continue expanding them because they know future growth depends on today's preparation. Consumers rarely notice these investments. Most people only see the finished product: a faster smartphone, a better search engine, a smarter virtual assistant, a more reliable delivery service. Behind every improvement are years of planning, testing, engineering, and investment. Perhaps the biggest shift is happening in how executives think about competition. Years ago, companies mainly competed against businesses within their own industries. Today, those boundaries are disappearing. Technology companies are entering healthcare. Automakers are becoming software companies. Retailers are building financial services. Banks are investing heavily in artificial intelligence. Competition is coming from places few executives expected. That makes long-term planning even more important. Companies aren't just preparing for familiar rivals. They're preparing for competitors that may not even exist today. Investors are rewarding this mindset. Wall Street increasingly values businesses capable of demonstrating durable competitive advantages. Innovation, technology leadership, financial flexibility, customer loyalty, strong infrastructure. These qualities signal that a company is preparing for long-term success rather than temporary growth. Of course, long-term thinking doesn't guarantee success. History is full of companies that made expensive bets on technologies that never lived up to expectations. Some investments will fail, some products won't find customers, some strategies will prove wrong. That's part of innovation. But history also shows that the greatest business transformations rarely happen by accident. They happen because companies invest before the opportunity becomes obvious. That's exactly why many of today's largest corporations are thinking differently. Instead of asking, "How do we maximize profits this quarter?" they're asking, "What kind of company do we need to become by 2035?" That question changes everything. It changes hiring, technology investments, research budgets, infrastructure, acquisitions, product development, even company culture. Every decision becomes part of a much larger strategy. Perhaps that's why today's biggest companies appear more willing to spend than ever before. They're not chasing headlines. They're building capabilities that could define how they compete for years to come. And while those investments may seem expensive today, history suggests they're often far cheaper than trying to catch up later. The companies that shape the future are rarely the ones reacting to change. They're usually the ones preparing for it long before everyone else realizes it's coming. That's why the world's most valuable companies are thinking years ahead, because they understand something every successful business eventually learns. The future doesn't belong to the companies that predict it perfectly. It belongs to the companies that prepare for it first. And in today's rapidly changing economy, that may be the most valuable investment of all.